Welcome back, guys. On today's installment, well, I say today's installment, but his installments take weeks to make. So, on today's installment, we will start off with refurbing the entire braking system. So, what we're going to do is remove the flexible brake hoses on the four corners of the car, as well as the solid lines that run from the front to the rear. We're going to remove the front and rear brake assemblies, so including the piston, what do you call it? The calipers and pistons, all of those. We'll eventually disassemble those, replace the O-rings and plungers and all of those that's in there with brand new pieces. Put on new pads. For now, the discs themselves, we'll have a look and see if we need to replace the discs themselves or whether we can reuse those, maybe just give them a skim. The intention for now is to overhaul the existing brake setup and not upgrade yet. Well, the only form of upgrade is that we're going to be replacing the flexible rubber hoses with braided lines, and we are replacing the brake pads with better pads than the factory or OEM pads. Yeah, for now that's it. And at a later stage, once we've got the car up and running and we'll see what leftover budget we have, then we will upgrade to a big brake setup. So for now, we'll start with removing the flexible rubber hoses. Okay, we at front left, and we're pulling out those brake lines. Basically just a matter of undoing that, pulling out this clip, and then undoing that. The brake line should come off. Hopefully it's not seized or gonna cause dramas. Now you can see why I'm replacing these lines. You can see the cracks on them. Some are torn, some ends are non-existent. Done with the front, let's move to the rear. Normally you'd assume you'll have the brake line coming to the caliper, and that would be a rubber hose. In this case, it's actually a solid line. But if you follow that, you see the rear here, we've got a little bit of a rubber hose where it would allow for some flex, I suppose. So the plan is to show how we're going to get this open. Looks like there's a nut at the top. There's that. Okay, and this one is not too bad. That's just the same as the front, that solid line, and then this clip that holds it in place. Now, I realized that, where are we? So, the brake line coming from the front of the car comes up here, joins to this connector block. One bit goes off to that side, the passenger side of the vehicle, especially right, yeah, and the other bit comes down, joins here to this side. So to get this off, I have to take the entire connector block off. To get to that bolt on the top, what I'm going to do is just take this entire bracket off, just easier. And then the last one is that piece, and then we've got all the brake lines out and ready to get them remanufactured. If only everything in life was that easy. I'm about to start removing the rear brake setup. Now this looks very different from anything that I'm accustomed to. Usually you wouldn't have the spring thing with this arm, which in this case is operating the handbrake. So the plan is to tackle this one piece at a time and see what happens. Start off, probably remove this split pin, which then I'll try and remove the handbrake cable that's attaching here. If that doesn't come off, then we'll remove that. So then we can pull the cable back and forth, whatever, to get that out. Then at the back there's two bolts, one there and one at the bottom. And then, well, before I take that off, I'll take this solid brake line off. And I'm hoping that should then give me this entire thing, which you can put onto a bench and try and work out what happens from there. He's gonna need refurbing. Let's put this in the light. That really doesn't look good. I'm gonna start off with sanding it down a bit. Hours later, time for satin black.